Hello, everyone. It's me, Nikhail Coble here. I am the founder and CEO of Mary's Helm LLC, which is an education consultancy in the United States. And basically, I love providing education solutions for others. And so I'm here today to share with you 3 quick tips for improving your communication skills. So for me, myself, a little bit of background about my own communication skills and experiences is I was a member of Toastmasters for several years. I did it both in the United States and in the United Arab Emirates. I was actually president of one of the clubs in the United Arab Emirates, but I love public speaking and communication skills. I know it stresses some people out, but for me, I really, really enjoy it. So today I'll share with you 3 tips to help you improve your communication skills. All right. So tip number 1 is you always want to start with the end in mind. So sometimes we can feel really flustered. And have you ever communicated with a person before and they're just talking all over the place and you don't really know where the conversation is going? It's usually a result of not starting with the end in mind. So always have your destination in mind first, where you want to go. It's just like when you get into your car or when you're taking a bus or you're riding the bike or however it is you're getting around, even if you're walking, right? You think about where you want to go first. You want to walk to the store. You want to go to your friend's house. You're going to school. You're going to work. You think about where you want to go first. And so it's the same way with communication. Are you speaking to someone because you want to entertain them? Are you speaking to someone because you need to give them important information? Are you conversing with others in an effort to try to persuade them? So these type of communication skills, they all require a different way to deliver the presentation material that you want to talk about. And so before you talk about anything, start with the end in mind. Where do you want to go with this? And so that's tip number 1, start with the end in mind. Tip number 2 that I have for you is to choose your mode of transportation and map it out. So remember, again, we're going to use the example of you travel from day to day, whether to a friend's house, to work, to school. So would you take a bus to get to your friend's house? Would it make more sense to walk? Would you go by plane? So you consider a lot of factors here. You consider the amount of time. You consider the cost. You consider, does it make sense to go this route or not, right? So if I am in Hawaii and I want to get to Alaska, can I walk there? No, I cannot walk there. And so it's the same way. When you go into a business meeting and they're expecting information in order to make an important business decision, you better have your details really, really well outlined and presented in that type of a format. But if you're speaking casually with friends and you just want to laugh and have a good time, so hey, maybe you have some jokes and things. But think about your transportation and map out what it is that you want to do, right? Because some things don't make sense in other environments where they might be more appropriate or comfortable there. So tip number 2, choose your mode of transportation and map out where you're going to go. Keep in mind, you've already started with the end in mind. And so that lets you know, do I turn left here? Do I turn right there? What if there's a detour? If you're anything like me, I am often on my GPS and it's like rerouting. And it's okay if you have to reroute. Read the room. So if you see that people aren't engaged, or if you see that people do not understand, read the room, map it out, do a detour, okay? But make sure you choose your mode of transportation that is appropriate to the scenario that you're in. Even when you're going home, you wouldn't want to come home and bring out a long, detailed business plan or something like this. Like, people usually want to come home and relax. So remember, choose your mode of transportation, make sure it's right for the environment, map out where it is that you want to go, thinking about the end in mind, and reroute if you need to. All right, guys. Last but not least, for my tip number 3, is ask and share, okay? So if you're someone who is uncomfortable with communicating, you might want to ask someone who is a really good communicator, like, oh, hey, can you help me with this? Like, who's someone that you admire, their communication skills or their presentation skills, or it is always so clear when you listen to them, like, man, they make the most complicated things simple. Ask those people. And then not only do you ask those people, when I say share, you go out and you practice it. You practice sharing that information with someone else. Like, hey, I feel more comfortable doing this. And that's really the way that you learn in communication skills as well. You even ask for feedback. Feedback can feel uncomfortable, like when you're sharing and you're asking, like, oh, no, I don't want any negative feedback. But that's how you grow. That's how you improve. So number 3, be sure to ask and share when you are trying to become a better communicator. Okay, so I gave you 3 tips to become a better communicator. Start with the end in mind. You are going to map out, okay? And then last but not least, you're going to ask and share. All right. So if this information was helpful for you today, please feel free to like, comment, or share on this particular video that you are watching. And then last but not least, you can also, if you want extended support as well, we do offer public speaking and communication skills as part of our education services. You can check out either of my websites, nikayokopo.com, which is the way to book me personally, or my company website, maryshelm.org. And I will be sure to you get hooked up with the correct communicator to help you improve on your communication skills. All right, be sure to tune in for our next episode. Talk to you later. Bye.